no pain, no gain when it comes to supersizing your business. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here, torture device. And our idiom, our expression today is no pain, no gain. Now this is an idiom, or it's actually a proverb. It's an idiom, it's an expression, it's a slogan for the weight loss industry. Thank you to Jane Fonda in the 1980s. So if you go and you research this, you'll find that Jane Fonda gets credit for this a lot, but Ben Franklin and a whole bunch of other people said it as well in different instances. It actually dates back to the ancient Greeks and a poet named Hesiod from circa 650 to 750 BC. Okay, so we're talking thousands of years this has been around, this belief that you have to suffer, it's necessary to suffer in order to accomplish anything. Now, of course, Sophocles used it in the 5th century BC as well. So even though Jane Fonda gets internet credit for it, and I remember the Jane Fonda video workout tapes, right? Remember on VHS? VHS, anybody remember VHS? So that's what really made the no pain, no gain be attached to the fitness industry, right? And health and working out, New Year's resolutions and things. But prior to that, it was associated with any kind of improvement, the belief that there had to be pain and suffering and hard work and hustle and sacrifice in order to achieve anything. And unfortunately, a lot of personal development coaches and gurus contend that this is still true today. Now, I believed it for most of my life, most of my entire life. I believed I had to hustle and sacrifice and work hard and be the example and do way more than anybody else in order to succeed. And it wasn't until a few years ago I really realized, I don't know, I had this little epiphany that suffering, I never thought suffering felt good, so why would I want to suffer in order to get something I want? I never thought that sacrificing felt good. I mean, I don't know about you, but I never would consider sacrificing a good, positive thing. And I realized that based on how I define success and pain and suffering and hustle and sacrifice, I could choose to have those not even be part of my life, much less my business life and growing my business and creating the things that I want in the world. Guess what? All of a sudden, the things that used to feel uncomfortable, like changing my perspective and the way I looked at them, actually became fun and drivers and motivators for me. By thinking about not doing something would cause more pain to me than pleasure, all of a sudden I was motivated to do those things. But it's like the word diet. None of us ever want to go on a diet. Why? The word die is in it. None of us ever want to suffer or sacrifice, because that means we're creating more pain and more discomfort in our life. None of us with a brain want to create more pain, more suffering, more sacrifice in our life. So I contend that we can choose, by deciding what we want to attach pain and pleasure to, how we want to motivate and drive ourselves. Remember, we're all motivated from within. I am personally not motivated by pain, although I get why people say that. It's pain, discomfort, failure, loss that causes us to change. So how can we switch that around and use it on ourselves to cause us to change and create what we want in our lives without having to have a pain or a loss or an illness or a massive failure, by redefining things like success for us, redefining failure. I for years now have not thought of failure as a bad thing. I always think of it as a stepping stone and just a lesson learned on the way to what I want. And as long as I do that, I don't suffer or feel like I'm sacrificing by experiencing failures. So curious, what's your experience with the no pain, no gain? Like I said, grew up in my 20s in the 80s, so I totally remember Jane Fonda in those VHS tapes. But I also don't believe, just because the fitness industry has it as a slogan, that we should use it as a basis of growing and supersizing our businesses. So share your thoughts in the comments below. I will be with you tomorrow with another interesting idiom. What does it mean? Where does it come from? And how might you use it in your business and maybe even in your life? Have an absolutely fabulous day. See you tomorrow.